Hello and welcome to the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream here on twitch.tv/DDOstream and youtube.com/Dungeons and Dragons/live. I'm DDO's community manager, Cordovan, here to run some Update 31 quests, week 2 of 2 on Kyber. We got some epic level characters, and I think we're even going to try to run this sucker on Epic Elite. Why do I do this to myself? Hey, SPC Dragon, RG2 Play, Forgettable NPC, Cleavebeard, Tech 13, Civic Spoon, Amarif, everyone in chat here today. Really appreciate you guys joining me. We'll have a little bit about the latest news. We can answer your questions in chat, so if you want to ask a question in chat, if we can answer it, we will. Talk a little bit about the bonuses coming up and what have you. But we are going to run the two quests that probably aren't Search and Rescue today. I tend to be that Search and Rescue is a little bit longer, so for the live stream I found I can either do these two quests or the one. But we'll see. We'll see how things go today. We may well end up bailing out and going back in on Epic Hard, but let's give this a shot, huh?
Yep. And there now.
You'll be seeing a few deaths on Epic Elite. I suspect you are correct there. SPC Dragon says, any plans to update hirelings? It's not something that's on our immediate agenda to do further hireling tweaks. If there's something in particular that you would like to see, then perhaps it's something we could consider. I can say a couple things, though. We're actually going to be meeting this afternoon to take a look at a possible patch for later this week, next couple of days, if all works out. Stay tuned on the actual downtime announcement, that sort of thing. But we have a patch in the works to do a few things. We're going to add in some of those, quote, missing Kensei enhancements that didn't ship with Update 31. A few tweaks and bug fixes. And probably the big thing is we're making an attempt to improve, quote, a guild renown lag. So one of the issues in actually determining whether or not we're successful here is that it's hard to kind of mimic that in a live environment without major load testing, without the sort of actual experience that's in the live worlds. But we think we got it figured out. So if all goes well, hopefully by later this week we'll have resolved that issue, and that would be very, very good. That would make a lot of things a lot easier, I suspect. So stay tuned on that. Like I say, we're meeting this afternoon after, QA is still actually in the process of figuring. Actually, no, QA, pretty sure QA actually signed off on it late yesterday. So I don't know whatever processes we need to do to see if it's ready for tomorrow. If it's ready for tomorrow, then we'll probably be going live tomorrow. If something comes up today that maybe makes us push it out by a X amount of days, then could happen. We'll see.
The gnome proudly points to his creation. To demonstrate my latest invention.
But stay tuned for that. That should be coming soon. As soon as we can soon it.
Quickly changes to one of shock.
Wait! Where's it going? What's wrong with the crate?
I must the astonished wizard.
By the host of the terribly wrong! We must fix the animatic before it animates everything in the city!
Otherwise, I guess the other, there's a couple other things that are in the works. We are still taking your feedback on Kenneth Crafting. I know No Worries has been spending, a not insignificant amount of time keeping an eye on the forums and answering questions, listening to your feedback as to what you'd like to see, how our proposals coming together, etc., etc. We are currently still hoping to get Kenneth Crafting in Update 32. That's the current target, so we shall see, but that's the plan. So that's going on. We would still like to get your feedback on that. The other big thing is we have got a really cool bonus kicking off late tomorrow morning Eastern Time, running through the weekend. It's a plus 10 treasure hunters bonus. This is that new treasure bonus that arrived with... Uh-oh. Sometimes things all blur together here. Update 29, update 30? Which one was it? Can't remember now. But whichever one that was. So that actually increases the basically loot roll on your chance to get max effect items in random gen. Still has no impact largely on named item drop rates, but it means that you're going to get better stuff, potentially significantly better stuff, in random gen. Starting late on Thursday, running through the weekend. And that does stack, of course, like we usually do. That stacks with all other forms of Treasure Hunter's Elixir. So if you like stack up your random gen this weekend, you might want to go into the DDO store or such and pick up one of the Treasure Hunter's Elixirs there. And it's kind of a parallel track with the old loot boost. If you still have any of the old loot boost, it will raise the CR of the chest as well. But predominantly, you know, they're their own kind of separate things. Yeah, I could probably talk a little bit about those Fighter Kensei changes. Not while I'm playing here right now, but because I have to call up an email. But I can do that before the end of the show here today and give you guys a little bit of a preview as to what we have in the works. Crystal Cove stuff is listed in the seasonal items in the DDO store. When is the festival? I'm not aware of any plans to bring out Crystal Cove again in the near future, so it could well be that that's just an oversight that it's still in the DDO store. We did have Crystal Cove active during our anniversary and was it kind of late February through kind of early mid-March. So I don't know of any immediate plans to bring it back anytime soon, although that's certainly something we could do if there's enough interest in it. Perhaps this summer or something like that. No, yeah, Militia is not from Shavarath.
The barrels spring to life and attack.
She admitted as such in that one quest.
Appears to animate
She is a lieutenant in the Shavarath army, but it is not her home plane. So I think I have that right. Lieutenant? Something like that. From the plane of awesome. Sorry. Couldn't help myself. It's true that I guess, you know, there is, what, a formal plane for where the succubi are from, but she is sort of a unique creature, so she may follow her own rules, so to speak. Alright, no nibbles, huh? Yes, Titan. One of them is Liquid Courage. Yep. And like I say, I can kind of between quests here or whatever, I can talk a little bit more about that. Just kind of hard to look that stuff up while I'm in the middle of doing stuff here. That was the old Drunken Master name that we heard your feedback that perhaps it was a little too monkey. So we found the guy who did it found a really great alternate name in Liquid Courage, I think. Looks like Technical 13 is getting the word out on an art submission for, I believe it's like a DDO Wiki banner. Some of the Wiki folks are looking to spruce up their page a little bit with some new artwork. I believe they're giving away some prizes and such, so there's a thread on the forums about that. Say if you're in chat right now, T13 has got a link up. So let's see, we've got Patch, we got Kenneth Crafting, we got the bonus. We have heard you on the producer's letter. It's something we're working on, but I can't really give you much in the way of a timeline at this point, because there's a lot of things that kind of have to fall into place yet, and we're just not in that position. So I would like to say yes, it'll be
Nibbles runs up onto your shoulder.
XYZ day, but we just aren't in a position to really say much other than it's something we are actively working on. Kind of depends on how much we want to announce, right? We want to say some things like what is coming in update 32 content-wise, but we need to make sure that that's actually true before we say it. So, that's the basic holdup.
You've obtained a beholder's eye. One of the ingredients Orban needs to make the wand.
Cheeseburger.
There we go. I'm heading down to Dirk. Do we have any repeating crossbows with 2 augment slots? That's an interesting question that I don't know the answer to. I want to say probably,
It looks like someone has
but
set
I
up house
don't know for
here.
sure.
Dirk gives you a unicorn.
It seems like it would be
One of
something
the ingredients needed
we would
to
do.
craft Orban's wand.
Anyone want to hit up the tavern shrine before we head to the end? Yeah, I don't recall. I mean, I guess you're right that I can't really think of it either. But it seems like we would. Perhaps there's something that would prevent it. Let's see. Yeah, I usually do a lot of the ruby red augments myself on my characters. Pretty good choice. Hey Dirk, we're actually just getting ready to wrap up Good Intentions if you want to pop on in to take a look at that chest. Yeah, oh, by the way, Father Dros, thanks for being here for one, and for two, thanks for doing your featuring DDO on your 12-hour live stream yesterday. I was able to check that out for a little while, drop in and do a couple of code giveaways there, and it seemed like it was going really well. So, yeah.
Over here! Shouts Orban. Please.
So, I don't know if you're a new streamer, but I haven't really, you just recently got on my radar for DDO, so let me give a quick shout out. That's FATHIRDROS, Father Dros. I know you're streaming pretty regularly on your live stream channel, so it's Twitch, Father Dros. Go ahead and give him a follow. I agree, this is going to be one heck of a long fight. Holy moly.
The animatic stands contained inside a magic fountain. It looks like Orban has found a temporary method of halting the golem.
Ooh, no better augment than the corrosive salt on the repeater. That sounds like a heck yeah to me.
Orban quickly shapes the ingredients into a magic wand.
You want to try to bring him over into the doorway kind of area here to help with the aggro?
Enchantments from the golem and remove its commands. Well, there's only one way to find out. First, I'll remove my containment spell. Then I'll use the wand.
Huh. That's odd.
The animatic charges towards you, animating the large gazebo it is standing.
Oh my! That didn't go as planned.
Says Orban.
The wand did remove some of the animatic command structures, but it seems the only ones affected were the ones that prevented the golem from attacking people.
Let's try to clear out some of these animated objects first if we could. Take down the DA. then we'll focus on the golem.
Animating objects nearby.
Sorry, I'm not paying attention to chat at the moment. I'm a little busy. Trying not to die. Yeah, Father Dros also does play Lotro. I know that he does that a lot on his stream as well. He says mainly, perhaps. So that's cool as well. I know we've got quite a bit of crossover between our games. Yeah. Let's see. It's on CenturyLink. Augments are a thing. Foth. Alright, cool. This is where we get the deaths we talked about, probably. We shall see. Oh, we're doing alright here so far. So far, so good. I think everything's gonna be alright. Have I gotten all those dice bags mailed out? Someone asked in chat. The answer is, as a matter of fact, I brought them to the front desk about 15 minutes ago. Well, I guess about a half hour ago. So they should be going out within the next day or so. And that is our potentially last round of make goods. We're running real low on the bags. And I'm in the process of sending a few to both DDO Cast and DDO Players News. Just a couple to give away on their shows. And then the rest I'm going to save for any other kind of special. There's not many left. There's like maybe 10 or so. And those I'm going to save for special events, maybe turbine giveaways, live stream giveaways for me. VIPs who stop by the office. And by that I mean like celebrity types. Etc., etc. So we're just about done with the dice bags. Like I said, ideally we'd start mass producing them. I never want to get one, but that's just a little beyond the scope. Someone suggesting that the elemental damage augments scale up beyond level 20 in terms of amount of damage done. That's a good suggestion, perhaps something we should look into. Oh, trust me, Father Dros. You don't have to be good in order to live stream on DDO stream. You just have to be fun. We're actually, I don't know if you guys have been catching it on Tuesday nights now. We have a regular show with DDO Splat. That is Patrick and Lessa, Steiner Davian, I think Chai's in there, a handful of other people. And they play sort of Zergy permadeath in a way that's really fun to watch on a live stream. So hopefully you've been checking that out. If not, perhaps you can add that to your Tuesday roster. Technical Shoemaker coming through with the wiki knowledge on the repeater with 2 augment slots. Epic Kelamil's Banded Heavy Repeater has 2 augment slots. That went surprisingly well.
Orban's dream of renovating Stormage is now nothing more than a pile of useless junk. It would be nice to be able to sit down without the chair attacking.
Oh no, I died after the...
Alright, ran out of mana. We're right with it.
No problem. Alright, let's see what else we got in chat. Favor update in Twa Works. We know it's something you guys want us to do. Maybe. But nothing really to announce there, I'm sorry. Legendary Mage Rights Toolkit, that's okie dokie. See, anyone else pull anything? We got a Hardened Hide Armor in there. Dashing Gloves. Looks like I was the only one skunked on named loot. But that's okay, because I, like I said, did really, really well last time. Confucius. Saying, I know it's taking so long, it's because you're a wimp, man. You're only doing like 100 damage. Yeah. Alright. Alright, quick drop off to sell and repair, and then we will go into Memoirs of an Illusory Larcener. The NPC for that is located by the Inspired Quarter. I got it right. I was mentioning in the chat room, or in the party chat here, so on my very first time running through these quests on Kyber here, I pulled the animated rope and the Pansophic Circlet. So it was like, alright, loot gods are with me today. So the fact that I got skunked this run, it's okay. Oh, I actually pulled this as well, the Silver Longsword of Insight. There was a question about what kind of properties were still dropping at random loot. At least silver is. Anyway, I was using the Sword of Shadow because it has adamantine, but it's only the heroic, unupgraded Sword of Shadow. So that's why the damage in that quest was kind of wimpy. Hopefully it'll be up here on this next one. I know that Mage Rights Toolkit, certainly not a bad one. That blue beam of light, Titan asks, going out of the chest when opened is a permanent feature? Yes. What that means is that you basically rolled super lucky on your loot. Someone in the party did. Does the silver bypass DR though? I would have to obviously run it through its paces to check. Should. Yeah, the blue light doesn't mean that you got a named item, but it does mean that someone in the party rolled particularly lucky on their loot. You will get that if someone has a treasure hunter's elixir active, and we'll see it this weekend when the treasure hunter's bonus goes into effect. What that essentially means is you rolled good, thanks in part to a boost. That's what that means. Dreadsnot says, any intent to keep holy and righteous in new loot crafting? I assume you maybe mean, are we going to keep it in Caneth crafting? Answer is, I don't know. Sorry. I don't think it's in random gen either. Charlie Brown Christmas reference. Oh, I got a rock. Neat. I can understand why people would say, ooh, maybe that means a named item dropped. Perhaps we should add it for that purpose. But yeah. We are aware of the reports of, DR breaking weapons going MIA. It used to be like Holy would bypass, well, I guess it would do what, DR evil damage, so things that need good damage to get past. And that's just something we're gonna have to keep looking into. I don't know. There's some differences of opinions on that. Is there new random gen loot that can boost illusion spell DCs? Yes. I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head, but yes.
Don't be shy. Come in, come in. Step on over to the symbols on the floor. The adventure is about to begin. The first step is to find the hero of this story. A true upstanding citizen. Be warned, though. She is a master of disguise.
So basically, I know the dev team is already starting to work around update 32 content. I'm hearing things like, I'm working on the new quest today. So that's cool. But we are working on a new producer's letter. I know it's been longer than anticipated, but we're getting it to you as soon as we can. There was a thought it might be this week, but it looks like that's fallen through, so we'll see. Alright, this could be a little tricky. We may need to kind of turtle up in a corner or something and get out of the way of some of these range dudes.
Choose your corner.
DDO stream host should get a dice back. I mean, you certainly raise a valid point. If I had enough of them to really go around, then yes. But if I really look at how many DDO streamers we have and the fact that I got like 10 dice bags left, it would be all of them. And I'm not even sure everyone would get one. So rather than do that, sorry. Elfie Elf Courier. Oh man, that's good stuff. Elfie Elf. I love the name Lunchbox. I've started using it in my own like parties and static groups. That's really funny. Do you know if that's just like a Kyber thing? Do you know where that came from?
It came from Kyber.
Alright, cool.
I heard it in a group about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that was a new one to me. Alright. Let's read the lunchbox. Alright, let's see. Is this quest finishable now in a group? Yes, that has been the case since last Thursday, so not quite a week yet. Psycho Magi says, there was a lot of lag yesterday. Will we ever fix lag? It's something that we're consistently and continuing to work on. We do have something that we hope will make a big difference. That's going to be in a patch very soon, potentially as soon as tomorrow. And that is a fix to the so-called Guild Renown lag that we will be testing out. Actually, I guess already did take a look at, but really it's going to take experience in the live worlds to know, to make sure that we've actually done it. But that is something we think should be working. In terms of what was causing it, it had some kind of thing to do with the sequel, some kind of sequel thing being sluggish in the in a virtualized environment. I guess in my non-techie and perhaps somewhat inaccurate way, I would say that every time Guild Renown was being granted to a party, like you kill a mob and get 10 Renown kind of a thing, it was saving it to the database. And so it was just basically putting too much of a burden on it. So we've streamlined it to be more efficient. Might as well go after these guys since they're already aggroed on us. Yeah, so the teleportation effects in this quest are a little unusual in that it's sort of the world moving, not you. At least that's the way I've always heard it described. Perhaps No Worries can correct me. Where'd everyone go? Oh no. So, Psycho Magi, the answer is, will it ever be like permanently fixed that there will never be lag in DDO? But we are absolutely working on something.
Trying to get somebody else, so apologies.
No problem, no problem. I got too far ahead, I guess. Did I say when update 32 was coming? No. The current plan though is to do it on our regular time frame. So if you're familiar with sort of our cadence of releases, it'll be along those lines.
A ship fit for
I am
a-
aware, OSNAP7242, that the stuck command is having some issues in this quest. I actually was just reading the player reports on that this morning. So that's something we're going to have to kind of look into further in terms of how we can potentially correct that. I don't have an answer for you at this time. I assume, this is just based on me saying, well, that's probably what's going on, is that it has something to do with the way that this quest does sort of rebuild itself around you rather than you teleporting to it. But I could be wrong. So, oops. I will leave it up to the experts who know more of such things. Where am I going? I'm in circles. Nope, that ain't it. This quest is tricky to get around in. Alright, let me refine myself here.
Down, down, down.
There we go. Can I tell you if the quests are in Forgotten Realms or Eberron? No. Yeah. Alright, there we go. Yeah, so I actually did that on purpose because I wanted to show you that when it's gathering the mechanic, that is up on the staircase. Basically, everyone needs to be on the staircase. So if you're sitting over by the chest, it won't proc. Oh, actually, Spectre. There we go. There we go. Back to Lucy Lawful. I think, right? No? Except not. Swap the artifacts, okay. Upstairs in our quarters, okay. Alright, down towards the bottom of the stairs by the chest. Yeah, it is kind of like being in the holodeck. That is a good analogy there, technical. You know, I don't know what the story is about the breakable boulders in this quest. I'll have to ask. I don't actually know. I'm sorry.
Ah, the forest. How many adventurers, adventures, come to an end in the forest? So peaceful and quiet.
Lucy Lawful is my favorite NPC name. Yeah, it's a good one. Our flash sales are going to be on just this week. It's a week-long test. We're just kind of playing around with the idea. It seems to have been pretty successful, so I would not be surprised at all if they came back again in the future here. Oops. We'll kind of have to see how things go. Oops. People just want to run to the end here. Guess we could do that. So the issue in that ship there was I was waiting for the... I had to talk to the upstanding citizen and had failed to do so. So that's why the door didn't open. So that was what was going on there.
Pop on the symbols one last time, and we shall return to where it all began.
Someone wants to know who specifically will be working on hand wraps. I don't know at this time. I don't know.
A mean trick, I know, and I do apologize, but this is where the story actually ends. Trapped in a clearing in the woods with everyone you betrayed descending upon you. I did say
Whoever pulls the shortest straw. No, I'm kidding. Nothing to announce about hand wraps at this point. You know, it's as Eva said, it's something we would like to work on in the future here. I got an adrenaline. I do need to get a better weapon here. I think I'm currently on the bastard sword, just using. I think it's the Nightmare from Caught in the Web. But now that I'm level 28, it's really time to maybe get into Thunder Forged or
Well, you
something like that.
I expected. Hop on the symbols one last time. No. I really mean it this time. No more tricks. I promise.
Will we see Crafting with Courtney return when Kenneth Crafting is updated? Probably. That is something I was actually just thinking about yesterday.
A story even
Probably.
I didn't know existed.
Because it would be good to have another weekly column where we kind of
And for that,
talk about
a
sort of what
reward
you
is
can do. Let's see, we see a pansophic circlet, paramnesial lenses. Nothing again for me, but that's okay. It worked out pretty good. Looks like we got a couple of named items out of this one too. Oh, so back to the flash sales. Yes, they will be most likely back in the future. They will be ending, though, pretty soon. I think we have something going on right now, so you might want to go take a look at that. Why did we change a good death to 30% and 400% melee power? I think it was just part of the overall balance pass that we were doing with Kensei. Daikiel says, quick question, if I want to shift multiple characters from one server to another world, you guys figure out a price, or is it the same price for each character? That's a question for customer service. You can get in touch with them through support.turbine.com. I don't actually know the answer to that, sorry. I don't think it comes up too often. Are the drop rates for all of the named items in this quest the same? I don't know. Typically, it depends on the power level of the item. If there's a particularly strong item in a quest, like, oh my gosh, that's the best piece of loot ever, it probably has a lower drop rate than something that's deemed a little bit less so. But I think that depends, there's not something that's consistent through each quest. It depends on sort of how it's built. Someone says, can the recipes for the updated Kenneth crafting column be submission style? Maybe. I tried doing that back in the day with Crafting for Courtney and just didn't really get much. So people tended to just not send things in. But if there's an interest on the part of the community and they stay active and want to do it, yeah, I'm open to that. All right. That's going to do it with here with the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream. Just a note for you guys in game, I will get you a Turbine point code in the in-game mail a little bit later on this afternoon. Also be doing a giveaway on our Twitch chat here as well. Thanks very much for joining us. 4 o'clock today is DDO as she is played. 8 o'clock, Titan is going to be streaming on. Overnight, we have got the Damsel of DDO on their channel. That should be, I believe, Lessa 101. And then you can find our full schedule for, say, Thursday, Friday, the weekend, and onward on twitch.tv/DDO stream. We also archive our streams on youtube.com/Dungeons and Dragons as well. If you want to check out our YouTube page, give us a subscribe. hit that subscribe button rather to get all of our videos in your subscription feed. You can also subscribe to certain playlists if you just want to check out, say, one show or another without getting the full feed. That's an option for you as well. Thanks very much for playing DDO. We got some big news coming up probably in the next couple of days regarding a patch and such, so hope you enjoy that, and we'll talk again soon. See ya.